start this report with some exciting news, which is better than Sportspark, but exciting news. Yesterday, our governor awarded a grant to Roosevelt Operating Corporation in the amount of $2,963,705 for our Black grant. So we are very, very excited. The next step is, first of all, I'd like to thank Kim Quinones, our CFO, who from the moment she started here worked feverishly on the grant application. And believe me, these applications aren't easy, but it was awarded yesterday. We are going to work on a scope of work for the designing team. We're going to need structural engineers and landscapers and mechanical engineers and so forth. So we'll be going out with an RFP for that, but we have to work with, this is not going to be as easy as other things because we have to work with DOT, who is administering the funds, but we're moving ahead. And that should be great, it's exciting. We're going to get help from whoever wants to participate. So if you're a bicyclist and you want to give us your thoughts, please share them.
Is there a Roosevelt Island Bicyclists Association? Do we have any kind of work on that program?
New York Bikes is there.
Bike New York, yeah. Bike New York, for nothing, teaches how to ride to our kids on the
And they do the biker share, they used to on Saturdays.
So we probably don't have a need for a specific Roosevelt Island Bike.
I don't think so.
We call it RIOC.
We are looking into city bike. We are looking into city bike.
Good luck, I'll tell you.
I know. And by the way, it's almost a year's anniversary for Kim, and it's over a couple of weeks ago was a year's anniversary for our VP, Shelton Haynes, and I'd like to commend them both. They've been a fabulous addition to the management team, and now with Jackie Blue, I think we really have a great management team. I guess I have to talk about Sportspark. So we thought we were ready to go, and we were all excited, and what happened? I got a call, and I don't even remember what time on a Saturday, that there were 4 feet of water in the pit that houses, now I've learned, ejector pumps, circulator pumps, you'll correct me if I'm wrong, and everything was old, and once they were running, nothing was working. And so not only were there 4 feet of water, but the control panels and the electrical connections were underwater. And thank God no one got electrocuted. But our staff worked throughout the weekend. We had emergency electricians, emergency plumbers come in. We had no idea how bad it was going to be. There was a possibility that there was a leak in the pool, and we had to put dye in the pool to see whether it was leaking or what was leaking. The good news was that the pool is fine, but there's been a lot of work done over the last week to try to get it fixed in time, and I know a lot of people were disappointed. We tried, now it looks like we have the last few things left. New valves here, another casing here, or repair there. And it sounds like I'm going to send out May 1 as the new opening. That gives us a couple of extra days to just make sure everything is okay. But one thing we've learned is that we can't just respond to problems. We really have to look at a lot of these old buildings and other infrastructures around the island and do work before there's a problem. And that's going to be challenging for us. You know, and I'd like to thank Mr. Russo because now we'll have a director of engineering, and Catherine has been fantastic. She's stepped up to the plate and has done work above and beyond. So, and we only have 2 other people in the entire engineering department. So it's been tough, but I apologize to the community. We thought we were ready to go earlier, but it just didn't happen. And it was not the fault of DOB, and it was not the fault of anybody other than it's an old building. And things have not been updated over the years. I'm gonna turn to the seawall railings because it's moving forward. RIOC met with the, with DOB for a coastal application for the new seawall railings. They're gonna be beautiful. What we've learned is that there's a lot of agencies involved in the seawall railings. There's the possibility that the MTA, the DEC, the Army Corps of Engineers, the Public Design Corporation, all may have their fingers in this thing. And that may mean that we just need to get their blessing that they have no jurisdiction, but we still have to deal with them. So it's more complicated. Unfortunately, everything seems to be more complicated than we think. But we've started the process going forward. We thought we'd be able to get a permit soon. Work won't probably start until the fall. But it's gonna be new railings throughout the entire island, and that will be really pretty, and I'm excited about that. The platform, both in Manhattan and on Roosevelt Island side for the tram, that contract was awarded, but it was subject to certain conditions being met. We have 1 week to see whether those conditions will be met, and then we can start scheduling when work will be done. And we'll be able to come out with an announcement as to who the winning bid is within the next few days. Engineering, Mr. Russo and I have made a lot of phone calls regarding the elevator, the new elevator on the Manhattan side for the tram. As you may recall, there was a failed RFP. We couldn't get anybody interested. We decided to go out with a mailing with glossy photos of what this was going to look like, and in addition to that, we've started to call people who were recommended by various engineers and Cornell engineers and contractors as well, recommended people that might be experienced, qualified, and interested. Hopefully, we're going to get some interest. We're a little nervous about it because a lot of these experienced, qualified construction companies view this as a small job. You know, we view it as a big job, but a lot of these corporations view it as a small job, but we're doing our best, and we'll be going out in the next couple of weeks, and we'll see how that goes.
We should talk to Kramer on that one too.
We have, and we've gotten recommendations from him and from Cornell. The youth center, we should be getting bids, I think tomorrow on the roof. And I know Catherine is working on drawings for all the new windows and for all the ADA compliant changes that we are going to need in the bathrooms and cosmetic changes as well. So that's moving forward. The Blackwell House, as you heard Judy Birdie mention, the bids are coming in on April 24th. So that's going to be great too. And Motorgate, we're going to be moving forward on just one phase. I would describe it as the floors in Motorgate that have the most problems in terms of problems with the, I'm trying to think of the word. Water. Yes.
That was the word.
Well, that wasn't the word. But, you know, there's some floors, leakage, the water is just going on people's cars because, it sounds like it, right? And so, we're gonna be going ahead with floors 3 and 8 and maybe 4. We're gonna divide it up in 2 phases because of the other work being done and because of the seasons as well. I did want to say something about community policing. I think you all got a message from us regarding the change in community policing on Roosevelt Island. We have 2 officers that were dedicated solely to Roosevelt Island, Officers Mathis and Esposito. There's been a change, there's been a reorganization, and they are not solely appointed to our island now. They're also part of the 114 in Queens. Primarily because, frankly, we don't have that much crime, and their services were needed elsewhere. Now, that doesn't mean they won't be here. That doesn't mean that they will not come to any meetings we want to conduct with them, or if we ask them to come to a public forum, they'll be here and they'll answer as needed. We were disappointed but they're also setting up an email dedicated to our residents, and I think you may have seen, I don't know if it was published, but if any of you want to receive emails from the NYPD, from the community policing arm of the NYPD, send your emails to me, and I will make sure that the appropriate people at NYPD have them so that you can get their community communications. There is going to be a community policing meeting on May 25th. I'm not sure exactly what time, I don't know if Jack is here, but I'm not sure what time it is. I will put that out on an advisory. It is the day of our board meeting, but maybe after it. It is in Queens, and I don't know if anyone wishes to participate, just reach out and we'll give you that information.
Okay. Committee reports?